Well, Larry Phillips is a native Iowan from Centerville originally, but he made much of his professional life here. And Lamoni as the pharmacist in what used to be, when I was here at Graceland, Varsity Drug, and the bus stop was there. Uh, but he was able to take on that business, and he and his wife have been pillars of the community ever since. When I came, I was like, he's on so many boards. He's treasurer for this. He's in the service club for Lamoni Lions. Um, I was online. Most of my reading now is on my phone, looking at mainstream media, independent media, and the YouTube videos and things. And somebody was amazed that somebody worked as a volunteer fireman without any pay, no money at all, to do that work. And so I wrote a comment saying, based on especially what I know about Lamoni, but I didn't mention Lamoni, that that's what small towns are about, that people care about their neighbors, everybody pitches in to do what they can to build up and support the community, the individual people. And that's one of the things that Lamoni Lions Club does for us, among many, many um, organizations and programs that we have here.
That was a good segue into Lamoni and Lions Club. I don't have a long history with Lions Club. When we moved here in 1998 to provide varsity drug, uh, I was approached by John Birchfield, John Birchfield, and Brian Shunts. And I hadn't been in Lamoni very long, and they strong armed me about joining Lions Club, which I didn't really know much about. And they explained to me what Lions Club does in Lamoni and throughout the world, and said that might be a good fit for me to be a part of an organization that is dedicated to serving. Lions Club here in Lamoni and internationally is. That's what we feel we do. We serve. That's actually the motto of that. So I decided I think that would be a good fit for me. So I put that on, and what I'm going to share about Lions Club, I really gleaned through digitizing the Lamoni Chronicle. So that opened up a whole lot of information that I did not know about Lions Club. I mean, I knew the projects that we did with Lions Club, and they were many. But once I got into the history in the Chronicle, I found we did way more things than I had ever imagined. So that really became very special. Just the research of it became very important. So I wanted to share a little bit about what Lions Club developed as an organization. You may know the history of Lions Club, but it is a fascinating thing. Lions Club International is an international service organization currently headquartered in Oak Brook, Illinois. As of January 2020, it has over 46,000 local clubs and more than 1.4 million members, including the Youthling Leo in more than 200 geographic areas around the world. That makes it the largest service organization in the world, although I think Rotary Club has a larger number of members, but perhaps not the same number of clubs that the Lions Club has. Both very large and very well respected service organizations that do a tremendous amount of work throughout the world. The Association of Lions Club was established in 1917 in Chicago, Illinois by Melvin Jones, a Chicago business leader, and a Freemason. The association went international in 1920 when Border City Lions Clubs in Windsor, Canada was established. The name of Lions Club International has been used since then. It subsequently evolved as an international service organization under the guidance and supervision of its secretary, Melvin Jones. In 1917, Jones was a 38-year-old Chicago business leader who told members of his local business club they should reach beyond business issues and address the betterment of their community and the world. Jones's group, the Business Circle of Chicago, agreed. After contacting similar groups around the United States, an organization meeting was held on June 7, 1917 in Chicago. The Business Circle subsequently joined one of the invited groups, the International Association of Lions Club, and at a national convention held in Dallas, Texas later that year, those who assembled adopted a constitution, bylaws, code of ethics, and amendments. The Lions motto, as I mentioned earlier, is "We Serve." Local Lions Club programs include sight conservation, hearing and speech conservation, diabetes awareness, youth outreach, international relations, environmental issues, and many other programs. The discussion of partisan politics and sectarian religion is forbidden. The Lions acronym also stands for Liberty, Intelligence, Our Nation's Safety, which we definitely exhibit and try and focus on throughout the world. Here in Lamoni, I was aware of what we did in terms of projects here in Lamoni, but again, I had no idea of the scope of what we did prior to my time here in 1998 when we moved there. The Lamoni Charter of Lions Club was established March 17, 1970, so we have a history, not an extremely long history. But in those years, a lot has been done by the Lamoni Lions Club to make our community a better place. As Sterling mentioned that Lamoni is home to him. It's also very much home to us, to Linda and I, and we have found it to be an extremely generous, compassionate community where we have the opportunity to grow and to develop what skills that we have to make our community better. Certainly, as I think about Lions Club, the generosity of this community has allowed Lions Club locally to do these projects. Our Lions Club breakfast, pancake breakfast that we have twice a year, those are our primary fundraisers. And through income that we are able to get from that, we're able to give back to the community, and we certainly do that. And I'll give you some of the projects that we've accomplished here in Lamoni, which to me has been amazing that we're able to do that. But the generosity of this community is what's allowed that to happen. One of the things about Lions Club International in 1987, Lions Club was smart enough to figure out that it would be advantageous to have women join our group. I've heard that there's other organizations that are a little slower in that regard as well. But the blessings that we have been able to have because of women joining our organization have been immense. And we've been very happy to have the blessings of them to provide them. Lori is one of our Lions Club members. My wife, Linda, member. Georgia, Finks is a member. We have several members within our group, and they provide a lot of efforts that make our club very much able to offer the service that we desire to do in our community. So we're so grateful for that. Financially and to labor through the years, our club has been able to provide so many projects. So it's been amazing to me that they're able to provide the scope of activities and projects that we're able to do. I'm going to mention a few of them. We've been able to provide assistance for the Lamoni Booster Club, Lamoni Public Library, painting the Lamoni Swimming Pool, Lamoni Food Pantry. Our club has provided eyeglasses to both young folks and adults who needed them. Eyesight and helping with eye diseases has been one of the major focuses of Lions Club throughout the world. Thankfully, Frank Finks will mention a little bit about that as we talk about a program that our club has been involved in. We've been able to provide playground equipment for the school, provide uniforms for Lamoni 6th, 7th, and 8th grade summer ball teams. One of our initiatives fairly recently is to provide funds for the Fisher Store, which is an enterprise to provide, make it possible for our young folks to be able to have a gift under the Christmas tree that they might not be able to do in their family. That's a huge initiative, and we're so glad we can be a part of that initiative. At least 2 times through the years, a Glaucomobile came to Lamoni, sponsored by the University of Iowa Ophthalmology Department, to check for glaucoma and provide information for those who might suffer from glaucoma, also diabetes awareness. I didn't realize that until I did some research to find that happened. One of the initiatives that I'm so very proud of is what we do at Memorial Day when we put the flags up. I think all of us can attest to the fact that it's an amazing thing to see the flag flying at those days. Lions Club has made that an initiative that they're very proud of. Also putting the crosses up to commemorate military veterans that we have lost. That is such a sight to behold, to see those flags flying. Lions Club has certainly fostered that. We are welcome to have other organizations part of that, and that's taking place because it's become too much of a project really for Lions Club to handle. So we're very welcome to have community support to make that possible, and allow that part of our project. At least since 1985, Lions Club has awarded scholarships to our 2 individuals that graduated from high school. This year, we are able to award 2 $1,000 scholarships to either to further either male or female education or either a college or university. We are certainly thrilled that we can provide that assistance as well. As I mentioned, eye-related diseases have been one of the main focuses of Lions Club. When we go back to 1925, when Helen Keller was a motivating force and cheerleader for Lions Club. And in 1925, she gave a speech asking if Lions Club might be willing to be involved in detecting eye diseases and be involved in assisting in those diseases and finding cures and assistance. And that has certainly been a focus for Lions Club ever since. Suffice it to say that Lions Club locally has done a lot. We're grateful that we can continue to do more. We're grateful for the community that supports us and allows us to do those projects that make our community stronger and more vibrant. So we're always seeking new members. I know in years past we had more than 60 members, as I recall looking through the records. We're not that large an organization in terms of members. To build it up to that level. We know that there are people out there that share the same desire and hope that we do, that we want to serve our community in whatever way we can. And that is certainly a focus of what we do as Lions in this community. I want to give you a roster of our current members, or not members, but leadership. Our president is Kelly Everett. Our vice president is Sue Sherman, also Sarah O'Neill. Treasurer Frank Finks is with us today. Health Trustee Jim McKinney and Secretary Georgia. So we appreciate their leadership as we move forward into new projects for Lions Club, new projects that are to allow us to be involved in, and we're grateful they're able to do those. Obviously, we would be happy to have new members join our happy group to be able to do those things that make us feel good about serving our community. I'd like to ask Frank to share with us about a project that is near and dear to all of us, having to do with ID testing, ID project.
So, at any rate, this will be an interlude from your history. Uh, the international lines, but they're focused almost completely, other than some international relief efforts, is focused on vision, very easy at that vision. Uh, One of their signature programs is the Leader Dogs for the Blind. That's been in existence since 1939. Uh, and they provide complete assistance to anybody that qualifies for one of their dogs. They take them up to training to give them the dog, pay all the expenses. They're completely free to whomever gets that dog. Uh, Another one of their big programs, and this is specific to Iowa, is the Iowa IDAC, which is associated with the medical school in Iowa City. They're responsible for collecting and processing and then distributing corneas to cornea transplants, which I especially relate to. I'm on my third cornea transplant. Those programs rely on contributions from individuals, contributions from investors, contributions from our, not doing a sound please. Not put that hand behind my back. Contributions from our club, individuals, things like that. There's a third program called Iowa Kid Site, and unlike the other two, it can rely on volunteers. So, and the volunteers are Lions Club members. And Iowa Kid Site has one objective, and that is to identify a medical condition called amblyopia in young children, so that once it's diagnosed. So let me give you a little background on amblyopia. The brain development, the connection, the pathway between visual and brain starts early on, first few weeks of field development, continue on to actually anywhere from age 7 to 9. Mostly done, mostly complete by the age of 5. At that point, these connections start losing some of their plasticity so that they are less able to be adjusted to what you might. Summary, I always thought that the right eye to the left eye of the brain, left eye onto the right side of it, that's completely wrong, far more complex. So as these pathways are developing, each eye actually sends information to there's two vision centers in the thalamus. Each eye sends information to both of those vision. So as these pathways are developing, they rely on information from the eye itself. Anything that interrupts that information, maybe it's decline in vision in one eye, maybe if it corrupts information, flipping brain picks one eye, good eye, starts ignoring the bad eye, and as consciousness stops developing those neural systems. So they that's actually how amblyopia develops. The risk factors for amblyopia obviously are things that would cause those problems between the eye and brain. There, obvious thing would be cataract. Little kids actually get cataract. Kid has cataract. That vision isn't as good in this eye as it is in this one. So this is the one that starts sending all the signals. This one, the most common causes of this is muscular thing where you've got walleye, wandering eye, cross eye, like that. But there's other things, refractive differences, even pupil size, uh, big differences in diopter between one eye. All of these things can cause the brain to basically dissociate with their eye. Just as a consequence, you end up with only one functioning eye. Uh, that's what we screen for. We can't actually screen for amblyopia. We can only screen risk factors. So the process that I'll describe shortly involves identifying those risk factors in the child, and then as a consequence of those, continuing on with whatever needs to be done. The effects of amblyopia are significant. They are lifelong, life affecting. One of the most obvious ones is if it's uncorrected, perhaps undiagnosed but uncorrected, you're living in a two-dimensional world, flat. It's not three-dimensional. It's like if you close one eye, go around. It obviously affects things like driving. These kids are frequently identified as clumsy because they don't have the coordination that they would have with stereo vision. They're frequently misidentified as learning disabled. They aren't. It obviously affects things like sports. I'm not going to close one eye and try and catch a baseball. That might end up in hey. So all of these things that at a certain point when they have not been corrected are essentially uncorrected. So to give an idea of what we're doing now, we've got a camera that came out in 1920, came out in 2012, but that's still like no AI, Windows 7 territory. So it's a long time. It's not particularly technologically advanced. And I can diss it because in a minute I'll tell you about the details. So anyway, at this point, until this summer, we're still dealing with the old camera. So it's this camera was purchased in 2012 by 4 of the Lions Club in this area, which is known as Leon, Grand River, now there. Costing about $8,000. The camera has got a red light front. So when you tune in the camera kid, they stare, and it's actually a thing. So it's like old twilight. So they stare into the center of it. That's how you get them looking at the camera. But there's other things you have to be concerned with. You have to be concerned with focus. This camera is fixed focus. So you focus it by moving it back and forth. But you've got two red dots that converge or diverge spot on the corridor. So you do that, you have to ensure that their eyes are dilated in the darker room. Dark room typically is the adult red. That causes something. But anyway, you've got that. His eyes have to dilate. You have to open wide. And when all that's done, what I usually do is tell them to blink a couple times and open their eyes wide. So open wide. That's right. That's good advice. At any rate, I did mention because it's dark room again. Now you're trying to do all this stuff in a dark room. And sitting there, take the pictures because the focus on the camera picture, they move the head just quite a distance. The little red dot starts to go in there. So once you take the picture, you don't have a screen to look at. It's not a kind of so once you take it, then it gives you a picture of the eye. There's various parameters you can look at to really get the picture. You go ahead and go to get it done. More often than not, often does now. Then we do a retake and as they can get in the top of their head. I mean, and they're doing 2-year-old kids are doing the best they can to sit still, but it doesn't always work. So at any rate, there's a lot of retakes. But at any rate, once those pictures are done, transfer them electronically to big site. They then analyze them. One of the things unique about this kind of is the guys. So once the pictures are analyzed, if the kid has any of these big facts, that's all they can decide. If has any of these big facts, try to tell them, you can look at that. As far as numbers, out of 100 kids, 16 of them got this class. So even if they don't have any open, still got the 102. And it's not something, I mean, other than for business, that's fairly obvious. Some of the other stuff, not obvious at all. I put so this testing is what brings that out. As far as some numbers, let me finish. So once these kids go to an eye professional, that's where the further set of much more testing has to be done about one eye at a time. So at that point, then treatment options, everybody's seen cigarettes, probably wears glasses like eye glasses. That's been plastic treatment. You want to cover up a good eye, make screen work bad. If you look at the team drop, I've got pretty virtual quality. So they blur instantly like a cartoon or blur the vision, good eye, now the bad eye, and that's as far as the treatment. Uh, as far as numbers in the state, uh, just a little inside baseball. The Iowa line itself is divided into 7 districts. We're in the southwest district. We're one of the smaller districts. Those districts are then divided into zones. Our zone is catered to statewide. They screen 50,000. Our district screens 5,000, and our zone probably hits it's ironic. So I don't know anything about the Lions' involvement in skid site until, at any rate, skid site was established, set up in 2000. The camera that we have. I mentioned it purchased in 2012 by these 4 lines. So I know that at least from a financial standpoint, local lines club is involved in buying, whether they have use it themselves or not. But the camera was maintained by a fellow over in Johnson. He's also the local trainer for this area. Everybody else. So my history in this whole thing goes back to the fall of 2024. Phillips, school nurse, contacted John over Leon. We called Kelly, our president. He asked for volunteers. We got 3 volunteers, Julie Jefflin, my wife Georgia, me. And we went through the training with John. We had training elementary school. Thinking kind of said that the screening that he worked with us on was like 5-year-olds. And then said, okay, you're good to go. I go back, I'm doing 3-year-olds. And believe me, there is a huge difference between making a 3-year-old sit still, making a 5-year-old sit still. So it was kind of a trial by fire. So since then, Georgia really got it down. So Georgia and I did another screening over the center of it, which is about an hour of it. Screening 47 kids over there and 7, 8. The already told you about the camera as a communication. We were notified by KidSite, Iowa KidSite, end of last year that we did a new camera to go to by the end of 2027. But there was a push to try and get it done more quickly. So it turns out the fundraising and cost of the new camera our history out there with past 12 cameras. Gold come up with funding for 15. Turned out that funding for 50% more cameras by the summer than right now. As far as the fundraising effort, our local drone, our local line club contributed $1,000, raised another $1,500 individual contributed $2,500 towards the cost. Leon, last I heard, was up to $2,000. I don't know if it was 25. Murray, who's not even in our zone, contributed because they sent out over there. So we're getting this new camera soon. We're all excited because as we do this red dot focus, Finks have AI camera itself that takes pictures and say that's a good picture or retakes. You can imagine if I've got 2 retakes to do, center, I'm going to drive over there 2 hours round trip, pick up the camera on another hour round trip. But good execution. So it'd be a big help. Yeah. As far as closing, I think what I would like to do to see done is just be more proactive with this whole thing. There's lots of facilities that have kids who use AIDS. Nobody just talks about it. I don't know how to do that. By our club, yeah. So
Thank you, Frank. Thanks to you and Georgia for your involvement in this project. It's so important that our club can be involved in. One thing that I failed to mention earlier was if you have eyeglasses at your house that you're no longer able to use, your eyes have changed, the glasses you have aren't what you need anymore. Our club does take those and they get used for people that can use them, that they're tested and as to the strength and quality of the lens. And I'm in contact for our local club in terms of doing that. Also, they take eyeglasses at the IV pharmacy. The Fish Center here in town also takes eyeglasses. So if you have eyeglasses that aren't using anymore, help you to have them. Yeah, that's true because Bloomington definitely has a place. Bloomington Community Price also has available for those. Does the Lamoni Community Price Church have a not we can get a box. The eyeglasses can be collected, so we feel that's a valuable service that can be provided because a lot of families can't afford eyeglasses. We take frames and glasses. We don't take the cases that they come in. Yeah, we do. Yeah, just lenses they can work with. So we're able to do that and see that eyeglasses can be affordable for families that might not. That's the part of it. Are there questions that you might have? I'm not getting to. They met the second Wednesday of each month at Pizza Hut between 12 and 1. We used to meet at the community center, but we kind of got accustomed to having a Pizza Hut, and that's working out well. Brenda? It seems to be working out well. Yeah. I believe we have more than 100. I don't know the exact number of flags, but I know it's more than 150 flags. It's over 200, which is absolutely amazing. Uh, it is a sight to behold. You see those flags flying. Yeah, yeah, you've got quite the view, so you love to see it, right? So uh, anyway, we're glad it's become too onerous a project for just Lions Club, so we're very grateful to have any group in the community that wants to be a part of that because our club's not getting any younger, to be honest. So we need that help and we need that labor because there's a significant amount of labor associated with it. So, but it is a wonderful thing to be able to provide.